Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's
audience much earlier, but we thank God that you've given us the opportunity to meet with you today. Let me begin by thanking Your Excellency for granting me this audience to present this amazing group of Nigerian women representing other stakeholders on this solidarity visit. Your Excellency, it will interest you to note that this delegation is made up of female ministers who have changed the faces of narratives by proving their worth in their respective ministries and constituencies. We also have among us women professionals, zonal women leaders, and other stakeholders. I wish to again use this opportunity to extend our appreciation and the appreciation of all Nigerian women and children for your taking time to commission the ultra-modern facility to house the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, having been abandoned since 2013. This is indeed another eloquent testimony of Mr. President's love for Nigerian women and this administration's well-known tradition of completing laudable projects across the country, thereby putting meaning to good governance. We want to also put on record Your Excellency's prompt response to the spike of gender-based violence in the wake of lockdown measures to flatten the COVID-19, which also opened the vista for state governors to lend their support in this regard by declaring states of emergency against rape and gender-based violence in the country. Again, this visit is apt because yesterday was the International Day of gender-based violence, fighting gender-based violence and rape all over the world. And today, being the second day, we are commemorating the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And that's why you can see your women all dressed in orange. That is the color that the world has declared for the 16 days. We will paint the wall orange. That signifies giving hope that women should be given the opportunity to live healthy and happy lives. This support that you've given by lending your voice and declaring Nigeria zero tolerance against rape and gender-based violence has clearly placed Nigeria on the global map to harvesting best practices around such issues as was spotlighted at the United Nations General Assembly in September 2020. Mr. President, while we appreciate that the NSAS protest across the nation was a rallying call to look inwards and strengthen our internal democracies, bridge communication gap between government and the citizens, it is pertinent to note that moving forward, prompt action will go a long way to calm nerves. In this regard, Nigerian women continue to align with this peaceful and purposeful leadership. We pray for the Almighty's continuous guidance, wisdom, and grace upon you and your family as you lead this country. Your Excellency, as mothers of the nation, we are concerned that our children and youth are still at home in the face of the ongoing misunderstanding with the academic staff unions. We pray for peaceful resolve of this so that our children can go back to school. Additionally, Your Excellency, we wish to inform you of the need to initiate Nigeria's leading role in advancing a global treaty to end violence against women and girls on September 22nd, 2020, before the United Nations General Assembly. President Ramaphosa, as chair of the African Union, called for an African Union treaty to end violence against women and girls. He specifically stated, South Africa is proud to be a member of the UN's General Equity Campaign and has prioritized the eradication of gender-based violence and femicide. At a continental level, we are working to finalize and adopt an AU Convention on Violence Against Women during the course of this year. This treaty will be introduced at the African Union Summit in February 2021 and will call for a global treaty to end violence against women and girls. The Federal Republic of Nigeria is an ideal co-sponsor of this resolution. Given your outstanding commitment to eradicate violence against women and girls, especially in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, hence, I'm reaching out to Your Excellency as a unique opportunity for Nigeria to be at the forefront of supporting the call for a global treaty due to our commitment, action, and voices for women and generations to come so that they can live free life, free of violence. We want to commend the vision of Your Excellency of approving 45% of the SMSE fund exclusively for women, while 5% for our vulnerable groups and the country at large is highly commendable. Your Excellency, one of the concerns of Nigerian women at this time is in the fact that steps taken in designing COVID-19 response and recovery programs, including distribution of palliatives, where we are not mindful that women are the driving force behind small businesses and local economies. Therefore, we believe that any government intervention that is committed to turning entrepreneurial ideas into dynamic strategies to create jobs and export opportunities for growth and development should recognize the impacts of women leadership for enterprise development, which has a multiplier effect on the family and the society. The 35 affirmative action for women in governance and decision-making in public sphere, including the political party structure, judiciary, and Nigerian security system, though commendable, is equally of utmost concern to Nigerian women. They are still hopeful that Your Excellency will change the narratives and leave an enduring and enviable legacy, second to none, in the quest for visibility of women in public office in this country. Your Excellency, sir, our prayers are that in recognition of the positive role Nigerian women have played and continue to play in the sustenance of the next level agenda, that the following should be graciously considered and approved as: 1, that Mr. President should address the issue of quota and affirmative action in the appointment of women in public offices. 2, direct that 1/3 of all elective positions be reserved only to be contested by women in the party structure as applicable in many of the African countries, such as Rwanda, Uganda, South Africa, Senegal, and so many. As the giant of Africa, Nigeria should take the lead in this respect. By this, Your Excellency, you would have attained such enviable heights and left behind an enduring legacy in the sands of time that generations after you would use as a benchmark in programming for women at the national, regional, and international levels. The need to initiate Nigeria's leading role in advancing a global treaty to end violence against women and girls ahead of the African Union Summit in February 2021. Your Excellency, you may recall that in November 2019, I had conveyed the decision of the National Council on Women Affairs at its 20th meeting to confer on you, Your Excellency, the He for She Award of Excellence as Women's Special Champion for Nigerian women, children, and the vulnerable. This was in consideration and immense appreciation of your overwhelming commitment to move women into the mainstream of governance. However, today, the opportunity has presented itself for us to do so. Please permit me, therefore, to present this award on behalf of Nigerian women, children, including the girl child. I thank you, Your Excellency, for your attention. Long live Nigerian women and children. Long live our great president. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. By the United Nations for any leader. Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you.
Should be brought to book. The next one is the women dignity. The women dignity. Gender-based violence on women and girls. I believe that everybody here would know and should say that women dignity should be restored and preserved. When you look around the world, you find the most powerful men on seats of governance of countries, of which we have one of our great ones here, Mr. President, in Nigeria. And all these people were created by God, but brought to life through the passage of birth, as is done by a woman. And that is the dignity we want for that woman, because she produces, through birth, these great men and women of this country and every other country in the world. So it is a disaster that this violence that we decided globally for the 16 days coming to paint the world orange and tell our leaders and tell the people and tell every Nigerian, wherever they are, that women deserve more than that. Girls should not be violated. They should be allowed to live a life that brings happiness to their parents. The next one is women participation in politics. We know you have done so much, sir. You have given us beautiful, brilliant women to be at the ends of affairs of this country, even taking care of our treasury. You have done very well, sir. But you know, if you know the potential of women like we know you know, their sensitivity, their reliability, the mystery that goes with a woman, I think women should be given more opportunities to serve in very important positions in order that their performance, their potentials will be enhanced and brought forward in this country. Women can do better. They can do very well. They can be very loyal. Issues that can take difficult time to solve, women can solve it, because the women have the men, they have the boys that are the youth, they have the girls that are being violated, they have everybody. So, Mr. President, the participation of women in not just the political posts, offices, should be taken to the different or to the parties, especially my party, APC, that from the lowest, the units, to the states, women should be given certain percentage to fill in, just like the Honorable Minister has said. I know you will do it, sir, because I know you believe in the women. And your belief is what has brought about the award that has been given to you this afternoon. And I say, thank you, sir, for all you have done for us women. Thank you for your great stride in the country. You have done very well. It is left for others to do their bits. May the Lord continue to bless you and put you through and strengthen you to be able to cope with the mighty work that this country has on your shoulder.
To receive you in the State House today. I warmly welcome you all, and I thank the Honorable Minister of Women's Affairs, Dame Pauline Talon, who has put together this wonderful group of Nigerian women on this solidarity visit. Your visit here today comes in the wake of growing youth restiveness, which engulfed parts of the country in the last few weeks. As mothers of Nigeria, you play a critical role in bringing about lasting peace. We very much regret the loss of lives during the protests and damages to businesses, including medium and small-scale entrepreneurs. I urge you to engage with our children and youth on the need for dialogue that will yield better understanding going forward. Our youth remain our most treasured asset, and it is our collective responsibility to present to them a pathway to realizing their huge potential. I wish to recognize the value Nigerian women bring to our society, especially when they are supported and given a voice. This was displayed 2015 when Nigerian women, young and old, including my wife, Aisha Buhari, took a decisive and bold step to ensure that the polls spoke in favor of the change agenda in the face of strong opposition, intimidation, and what had appeared to be an impossible task. This administration is a beneficiary of the strong support of Nigerian women, and I truly thank you all for the display of resilience throughout our journey. I am aware of the importance of the Federal Ministry of Women's Affairs as the national machinery for the advancement of women and children in the country. This was my motivation in ensuring that the building housing the ministry was promptly completed, and I commissioned it as the first project in the year 2020 as a manifestation of this administration's recognition of women's crucial role in national development. We have not reached the 35% benchmark for the women's participation as recommended in the National Gender Policy. But the current female appointees represent the first step in a strategic intervention for the inclusion of women in the affairs of this administration. I will digress a bit here. If I give the treasury to women and the employment and the leadership of public servants women, what else do you want me to do? The last time I spoke about this, I said I will report you to the vice president because that is the next thing you want, unless you want me out and you want one of you in. I truly understand that when equity becomes the guiding principle and women hold strategic leadership positions, both in government and the private sector, not only will our development be accelerated, but also the diversity and richness in the quality of our policy design, engagement, and execution will be improved. I want to assure you that this administration remains resolute to not only meet the 35% national gender policy, but to exceed it across key decision-making roles in the government. As a way of improving women's participation in politics and decision-making, it is important that the ongoing constitutional review processes at all levels institutionalize accountability mechanisms and frameworks in the implementation of the national gender policy and the use of gender disaggregated data for planning. Let me use this opportunity to again reaffirm my commitment to end child marriage, boost girl-child education, and to ensure that mothers of today and tomorrow are educated, encouraged, and empowered across the country. I am happy that the Ministry of Women's Affairs is working with the Federal Ministry of Education to achieve this goal. I am aware that the Federal Ministry of Women's Affairs requires adequate and guaranteed access to funding, human and technical resources to achieve its mandate, and this is being prioritized. As we focus on addressing the issues of insecurity, we were again confronted with the challenges of coronavirus pandemic, which resulted in a spike in rape and gender-based violence in the wake of lockdown measures. I am delighted to note that government zero tolerance and declaring a state of emergency regarding gender-based violence has placed Nigeria ahead in providing support for survivors and bringing perpetrators to book. In addition, at the global level, we will show our firm commitment to bring an end to the extent of exponential rise of violence against women and girls by supporting the chair of the African Union President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa in his call for a treaty to end violence against women and girls at the African Union Summit in February next year. As we continue to improve the conditions of Nigerian women through our various interventions, we will address the need for proper coordination of these interventions targeted towards enhancing outcomes and harmonizing reportage at all levels of advancing the well-being and rights of Nigerian women. We can only build viable institutional structures when we conscientiously value our students, sustain partnerships, uphold our values, and engage in inclusive investigations, conversations between government and all sections of the society. While commending Nigerian women for this he or she award, I wish to further affirm the commitment of this administration to support and accelerate efforts in the achievement of gender equity in the country. Well, thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.